So my sister Donna informed me last night. Well, let me start from the beginning. Okay, so I get back from New York and North Carolina in Florida, and I was like, man, my skin is so dry. It must be affecting my inside organs, and that's not good. If your skin is so dry on the outside, you're drinking coffee, and most likely that's what's to blame. So anyway, I stopped drinking coffee, and I figured I got this headache for like 2 days, and that's normal, because you're going through coffee withdrawals, you get that coffee headache. So I got it for like 2 days, and then next thing I know, I had sniffles, and I'm like, why do I have sniffles? Where am I getting sniffles from? And then the next day, I have a sore throat. I'm like, you gotta be joking. What the hell is this? It's the middle of July, or the beginning of July. I'm like, I shouldn't be having any of these symptoms. And then I got a cough. And a cough was like a bad cough. I was like coughing all night, coughing all day. I couldn't talk, or I would cough. I'm like, shit, man. So I didn't see like anybody. I like quarantined my ass, I'm like, this is crazy. Why would I be sick? Like, I haven't been around any sick people. So last night I'm talking to my sister Donna on my drive to New York, because I'm finally feeling better, where I'm only coughing like late at night, when I'm sleeping, and not that bad. So Donna's like, Angel, it's probably red tide. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, there's like a ton of bacteria in the water. And every time they open up the lakes with all the pesticides and pollutants that are in the lakes, it goes right into the salt water. They unleash it into the salt water, which kills the fish, causes this horrible algae bloom, and gets everybody sick. And evidently, you can't even fix it by boiling the water, because boiling the water doesn't solve the problem. It's that kind of bacteria. So anyway, back at the ranch, I hadn't done any hair. I hadn't dropped my paintings off at the hippie store, because I didn't want to cough on anyone. So yesterday, before I left, I brought 4 little paintings and 5 little paintings that say like Florida, Jupiter, Florida on them. I dropped them off at the hippie store, and Kristen was like, oh yeah, I had that a couple of weeks ago. I was like, a couple of weeks ago when I was in the shop with you and you didn't have a mask on. So then I'm like, but wait a minute, maybe it's this algae bloom thing. Maybe she got it and I got it, because my brother told me a lot of people have been coughing like that with this really horrible cough. And I heard some lady down at the beach, she was just running, and I was driving in my car, and I could hear her coughing while I'm driving. So Donna, my sister, said those are the symptoms of this, algae bloom thing. So I'm like, man, that is just not cool. It's not okay, It's really not. I mean, I guess, it attacks your immune system, but at the same time, you're not taking any antibiotics for it, so you're building up your immune system. And I don't know, man. I just think it's horrible what they're doing to the water, and we should really be on natural.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Solar power, wind power, clean energy, clean, fuel situations. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. What was the other thing? So last night I was basically deciding that I think what I want to do is on my journeys back and forth, I just want to mark the places that are actually safe to get out. Like an area that looks safe and, you know, of course protect yourself like you normally would, but a place where you can get out, walk your dogs, take your kids to the bathroom. You know, if you're a woman traveling, you know, what's a safe area? There are safe areas and there are unsafe areas. And I've seen them both. So last night I discovered like a new place I hadn't been to where there's like a really nice Cumberland Farms, like all modernized, and it's in a really nice town. So that was like in Titusville. And, you know, they're doing a lot of building in places, and I'm noticing like, wow, that's actually a nice area now. You know, like you can get out and feel comfortable. There's places where you can get out and like 5 people have just come from all corners that you didn't even see out there, and then bam, they're right on top of you, and you're trying to get gas, and they're like, you know, ready to jump you for whatever you got, you know. And I mean, I learned now when I pull in, I'm just aware of my surroundings, like everything around me. And if it looks sketchy, if I see one freaking meth head looking person, sorry, I'm that sounds discriminatory, but when you see crackheads and meth heads, you're in a bad place, you know. And it's not safe because, you know, when people are doing those drugs, man, they lose their souls and shit. It's no joke, you know. They're not even who they, you know, normally were in life. And it's very, very sad. It's really sad. It's sad. But at the same token, you do not want to be in that environment or put yourself in that situation. So I'm thinking, you know, just is this place safe? Is that place safe? And I even brought it to the attention of WAZE. And WAZE didn't fucking get back to me about it or nothing. But I think you should have markers of how safe they are. You know, ratings of, you know, how safe these places are. I think that would be a lovely idea. So I'm going to do it. And I don't care if WAZE wants it or not. I'm going to just YouTube it. You know, so you can look up exit, you know, 58 on I-95. Is it safe or not safe for children? Could you take your dog out to go use the bathroom there, you know, or whatever? Are there food places there that are clean and good, you know? Because all these shiesty, shitty places, man, I'm sorry, but, you know, there shouldn't be shiesty, shitty places anymore. You know, people should just be on point with what they're doing, cleanliness-wise, sanitary-wise, you know, and especially with food. I mean, there is some, I know a guy who's a cook, and he said to me, there were times when the steak would fall on the floor, and the boss would tell him to throw it back on the grill. And knowing that that floor was nasty, and then they throw that steak back on the grill and serve it to people. Or, you know, food that, I know for sure. I was in a Thai restaurant, and normally when you're ordering Thai food, you get Penang curry chicken, and it comes with a side of rice, right? That rice is white. Well, I got rice that had the sauce already mixed into the whole thing. And as I was eating it, I said to myself, oh my God, I think I'm eating someone else's rice. Like they just didn't have rice left and they just put that on. That was the last time I ever went to that place. And they used to be pretty clean and pretty good, but they brought in people from like out of the country that didn't really speak English, and you knew they came from somewhere else. And it was like they changed over, the whole kitchen's changed over. out there. There should be laws and restrictions on situations like that. I mean, cockroaches is one thing and rats that they look for, and contaminants like that. But just basic sanitary cleanliness where, you're not reserving fries that somebody else had because you don't have any fries ready, so you pull them off another plate. When places are so busy, I think they do shit like that just to get by. And if you talk to cooks or people that work in the kitchen with chefs and stuff like that, when you have a good chef, they're not going to do that shit. But when you got a chef that's trying to fill a quota or whatever, or do time-wise something, then that's where you gotta watch yourself, man. That's why I don't like going into restaurants that are super busy. And if I do, it's basically just something fried, and quick. Because you just don't know. You really just don't know. And unless they have cameras in the kitchen continually, you would not know. And I think that should be a thing. When the cooks are speaking out that they don't want to work in the kitchen, they rather claim that they have an illness because they cannot deal with what they have to do in these kitchens of Greek restaurants and a lot of ethnic restaurants. And I don't know, man. I'm sorry, but I just try to go where I know the food is clean. Not that you're eating someone else's food because they didn't have enough or they ran out, Anyway, that's the story. That's all I got to say about that. And the one more thing, safe areas. When I say unsafe, there have been 2 occasions where I thought I was someone was going to try and take me, which is ridiculous. I would never even think that someone would try to take you as a grown woman. But there's this human trafficking thing, man, and it's a crazy, I don't know what, but I think they think it's okay to do here now. So they got these people that they just set out there, and with all these masks and stuff, this is how this one guy was coming up on me with a mask and dark shades at nighttime and a hood, and my son was parked all the way down at the end of the lot, and I had to go through a dark area. There were no lights where I had to walk through to get back to the car, and I just saw this human trafficking sign. I thought, man, that is so weird. And that can't be here, Pennsylvania, really. And meanwhile, yes, it was. This guy was coming straight at me. I could see him out the corner of my eye. And sometimes you just got to be a little crazier than the crazy people, And I just yelled out, "Yo!" really loud. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" As if I was talking to someone who was right next to the guy. And then I started running for the car, and I ran up to the car, not run, but running fast, but I took that guy by surprise, who was obviously coming at me for something. And that was one situation. Normally, that doesn't happen on the regular, but very strangely that these 2 incidences happened to me in Pennsylvania. And then my son saw me coming, and I just jumped in the car, and that guy just took off in the other direction, right? Another time, I was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, using the bathroom, broad daylight, and this church-going looking guy, like a polo shirt and khakis, and shoes, standing by the bathrooms, and I noticed him notice me. Now, I have purple hair, so a lot of people notice me, and they say stuff like, "Oh, watching him inch his way to like a spot, like looking around like where to go, and then finds a spot, which where he like put himself was a place where if I was to come out, he could have, you know, grabbed me or whatever. And there was a maintenance guy there. So when I came out of the bathroom, there he is, still posted in his spot. And now I see him look to which way I'm going. He's doing nothing, just standing, okay? He's not waiting on anyone. He's not getting a drink, just standing. And as soon as I come out of the bathroom, he's making a move. So I, instead of going the way I came in, walked over to the maintenance guy and was like, hey, how you doing? Nice day. Just to throw this guy off. And then I'm going around the back. So the guy is like peeking out, like, where is she going? Like, and I'm watching, I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I went around the back, and then I saw that he got into his vehicle. So I was like, okay, I got into my vehicle. And I started driving away. I waited a few minutes. He didn't go anywhere. I was sitting there waiting. Then I pull out. He pulls out right behind me, and I kind of sped up a little bit, and then he was right on my ass again once I sped up. So I just, right where you get on the highway, I just yanked the car over to the side of the road, and he had to keep going because what was he gonna do, you know? He couldn't pull over. I mean, he could have pulled over, but he would have been in front of me, and it would have been very noticeable that he was pulling over in front of me. So, like, those were two incidences that really stand out. And the third one is some random bathroom. Once again, Pennsylvania. Joe Birch in Pennsylvania. We're driving down the road. I have to use the bathroom. I pull over to this gas station. I just went out. The bathroom was outside. I opened the door to go to the bathroom, and it was like somebody was it was horrible. There was blood everywhere in there. On the walls, on the floor, fucking everywhere. I just left as fast as I could because I'm like, I don't know if someone got killed or if what the fuck went on in there, but something was going on with Joe. He was being really like crazy with me, and I'm like, dude, what is going on with you? And in that bathroom, I was like, oh shit. I just wanted to get out of there. I don't even think I reported it. I just left, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad that I ended up peeing in like a lot. And Joe was like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? Why aren't you using the bathroom? I'm like, you want to use, you go use that bathroom. Go ahead, I dare you. You know, it was freaky, man. But anyway, there's things that happen like that, but there's good things too. I mean, there's beautiful, positive things that happen on the road. And those are the things I really want to focus on, because that's what needs focus. So I would just say the safe places, and then you would understand that they were good places. And if it's not marked as a safe place, well, then you know it's not a safe place. And then that's how I would do it. Because I really don't want to bring attention to all those horror stories I shared. I'd rather bring attention to, you know, good stories like, you know, this kind old man who was sitting on a bench, and he just looked so debonair, and he was very old. He might have been like 90. And I was like, you look so handsome and debonair. I just want to take your picture. I said, do you have a phone? I'll take a picture for you. And he let me take his picture. And he was just super nice and like a real old gentleman. And I mean, there's been so many things walking these cute little puppies, adorable little kids. You know, happy families, but a lot of time when people are traveling, they're just getting cramped because they've been in the car so long, you know. But there are beautiful sceneries, like North Carolina, the Smoky Mountains, what is it, Appalachian? But God, just gorgeous, gorgeous views. And, you know, then you have like, there's not many people going through there, and the night watchmen are really nice.